We are live. Welcome to a post-game show here on the Cowboy Kingdom Basketball Zone YouTube channel. What a way to end the month. The Kings are up 131-110 with 40 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. This game has been over, and that's how you end a month, man. That's how you end a month. That's how you start road trip. So shout out to the Sacramento Kings and shout out to Shea Gilgeous-Alexander for really putting on the show today. The guy's a stud. We all know that. I've been saying that for years now. I love his game. Extremely underappreciated league wide. One, because he plays for the Thunder, but we all know now, or you should know, that he is a legit star in the NBA. He gets to the bucket more than anybody in the league. The guy is just extremely talented. And the Kings are finishing off the game right now. Sabonis getting extra buckets, panning the stats. I like it, man. The game's over. 131-110. How y'all doing? Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. You know, early on it was a little bit discouraging that, again, their defense is just not where it should be. But ultimately, the result is what you wanted, right? Which is to start off on a good note. They blew them out. It's again, they won by, what is that? 21 points. That's how you start off a road trip. And I don't want to hear that, well, they were missing. The Kings have been missing players all season long. Every team is missing players all season long. It's how you approach it. And the Kings have lost to teams that have been missing players. They lost to the Nets, right? They've lost to. Have they lost to the Thunder this year? I think they have. I'm not sure. I think they have, though. They lost to a lot of bad teams. One, because the Kings are a bad team. Two, because, well, they're just bad. But they have improved a lot more post the trade deadline. Sorry, I just lost my train of thought there. But the Kings are better, man. The Kings are more fun to watch. Sabonis, early on, even though he wasn't getting credit for the assist, the game was just opening up for all his teammates. They were playing off of him. He was the obvious mismatch, and they were feeding him, right? They were feeding him inside. Guys were cutting. Not all the time. There were moments where I was upset, where I was like, dude, like they're bringing a double team, even a triple team sometimes, and you're not cutting. And he was really frustrated with why guys weren't cutting. He let them know. He literally let them know. He was, he's making his hand gestures and pretty upset. But sometimes when you're playing with lower IQ players, that tends to happen. Guys are just standing around at the three-point line, waiting to be fed. But sometimes the easiest play, the obvious play, the right play is to make a cut to the basket, whether that be the weak side or middle strong side. But the Kings won, and they played well in the second half. SGA torched them in the first half. I think he had 19 points, but in the second half they made a deliberate effort to really get him in foul trouble, to attack him. Harrison Barnes did a good job in sealing him in the paint, which got him into foul trouble in the third quarter. And then Fox did a good job in attacking him. And De'Aaron Fox played a good game defensively, again, on ball. And where he gets lost, I'm going to say it again, it's his weakest point, and it's just his off-ball defense. But when you're playing a lesser team, you're going to look a little bit better. But when he plays better teams who understand how to screen, who put him in second and third actions, is where he gets lost. And those are things that he can work on this summer, the biggest summer of his career, because he needs to come in to camp in shape, ready to rock and roll, use these last 19 games of the season to really hone in on that. And right now, he's playing inspired. He's playing hard on defense, especially in that first action where he's on ball, he's fighting, and you love to see it. But it's that second, third action where he gets lost, and teams know that. That's literally on the scouting report. They're like, well, backstream him, he's not going to communicate well. And sometimes when he argues a call, he may not get back on defense. But to be fair, that is a lot of the NBA, really. It's not just like De'Aaron. It's most star players when they're arguing, they don't really get back on defense. But that's neither here nor there. That's just one of my thoughts that I wanted to put out there. Leo, quick, which she coin should I? Oh, which shit coin should I buy? Well, I got money on Shiba. If you can buy Cheddar, I look into Cheddar. I'm probably gonna buy some Cheddar as well. That's the NBA's coin. Like a lot of NBA players are gonna really buy into it and you know talk about it, promote it, and we got Trey Lyles on the screen right now. Trey Lyles played well today, right? Trey Lyles had a good game. Trey Lyles finished with 24 points in his first start as a Sacramento King. 1 of 4 from beyond the arc, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Very shocking. I'm not going to lie. I was slandering the man's name in his first few stints, right? Coming off the bench. He looked soft. He looked slow. Didn't seem like he had much. Today, he got a chance and he delivered. He played well. You got to tip your hat off. That is still the weakest position on this roster, on this team, in the starting lineup. I wouldn't bet on Trey Lyles giving you 24 points every night. I wouldn't bet on him giving you 15 points every night. So to me, that's a problem. Until that happens, I will gladly apologize and gladly talk about it and say how wrong I was. But I still believe that's a problem. I am very excited that it worked out today. But they have to address that position of need in the summer. It's a huge, huge thing, right? Let me see the stats. Field goal percentage, 56% to 46%. And three-point percentage, 32 to 31. So neither team really shot the ball extremely well. But anytime you can put up 131 points and hold the team to 110 points, that's a good thing. The Kings improved to 23 and 40. So let's look. So again, Trey Lyles, once again, tip my hat off to him. Let's look at the box score real quick and see where we're at. Let me see. Where is my camera screen share? Off. Okay, here we go. And now we can go on to share the screen, right? What is this? No, it's not. It's not showing nothing. Current application, Chrome. Let's see if it shows the screen. No, it's not showing the screen. Okay, that is weird. That's weird. Well, let me see. Show another one then, huh? Okay, here we go. Let's put this on the screen real fast. So let's look at this game. Box score. Here we go. Trey Lyles. 31 minutes, 10 to 14. Again, very good game. I don't expect that to happen very often, to be honest with you. But we give praise where praise is needed, and he did a great job today. Sabonis, again, 14 points, 16 rebounds, 7 assists, was in foul trouble most of the first half. He still put up a great stat line. He was extremely, extremely effective. A lot of the hockey assists are his, right? They were playing off of him, and, well, they got easy shots. Harrison Barnes, this is a type of night that we expected from HB. If HB gives you this, you're going to win ball games. That's a fact. 34 minutes, 23 points, plus 23, 5 boards. Good stuff there. Justin Holiday, right? Let me pause this little ad, man, because I'm not trying to get this taken down. Why can't you just pause it? Okay. Justin Holiday, 25 minutes. 1 of 6, 3 points, 20. Again, good defense tonight. Well, he had his moments. He had about 2 breakdowns today, honestly. 1 of 6 from beyond the arc. Why does ESPN keep playing these damn highlights? I don't want them to play these highlights. Okay. Damian Jones gave you good run today. 17 minutes off the bench, 6 points. He's a plus 10, 4 rebounds, 3 blocks. I loved what I saw from him. He brought the intensity off the bench. I'm really liking Damian Jones off the bench. I was talking to some friends of mine, potentially thinking about if he can start, or that's a big if, when Rashawn comes back, starting him next to Sabonis, have Sabonis really simplify the game for Rashawn once again, right? Get his confidence up, get the ball rolling, and then check him out at the 6, 7 minute mark and bring in one of your fours, right, to stretch the floor. But defensively, you can set the tone early, and Rashawn can feed off of his high post cutting, right? He definitely has that push shot. So if you get him a shot anywhere near the basket, he can hit that shot. I just think that it could work. Can it be a bit congested? Sure, but you won't know until you try it. They have nothing to lose, everything to gain. I think it works defensively. Offensively, Rashawn needs to be more of that Trey Lyles meant to. The only difference is that he can't spread the floor like a Trey Lyles. But if you truly think about it, he doesn't have to. Like, he can literally cut off of him and put a lot of pressure on the opposing defense in the paint. Like, it could work, right? That's how I see it. Davion Mitchell, big bounce back, 13 points, plus 5, excellent defense, 1 of 4 from beyond the arc, 6 to 9. Jeremy Lamb, 19 minutes, 5 points. I thought he was solid today as well. And Dante DiVincenzo, is this his best game so far? I think it is. 22 minutes, plus 20 for the game, 14 points, 4 of 6 from beyond the arc. Definitely his best shooting night as a Sacramento King. We'll take 4 or 6 every single time. Again, the Kings will take that every single time, right? No question about it. And then De'Aaron Fox with 29 points, 10 of 20, so 50% from the field, 1 of 5 from beyond the arc, 8 of 14 from the free throw line. That needs to get better. 10 assists, though. I know a lot of people will always want to criticize him there, but he had 2 steals, a block, just filled up the stat sheet tonight. 29, 10, and 2. They'll take it. And 4 rebounds, man. That guy's a star. That guy's a star. He's rejuvenated. He's hooping. He's a baller, man. You got to love it. Again, the Ox and the Fox did some damage tonight. Both ended up with doubles. Both with doubles. Here we go. Let's go to the comment section and address some of these comments. Trey Lyles, rest of the season. Trey Lyles showed some good basketball IQ, big body, and can shoot the 3 too. Well, he has good mechanics, just like Dante, right? At what point do you say you are who you are? I understand, Dante. I'm a lot higher on Dante than I am Trey, obviously, but like they both can, have nice mechanics. But I mean, he's been shooting like shit all season long, so it's not like, I think he's like at 31% before tonight. Like, that's not good. Definitely better than Harkless. Well, that's not saying much. Like, Harkless, he's Harkless, as my phone likes to say, harmless, because he ain't doing much damage out there. He's harmless. Because it always autocorrects me. D Jones came out and was a blocking machine. Yes, he was. Like Wiggly. Lyles is very patient and waits and sees what the defense will offer. Smart basketball player. SGA should have had 6 on that push off to the cup. That was an obvious foul. They won by 21, man. Fox, 10 assists, 1 turnover, a miracle. Wow, look at Baz. Look at C. Baz giving them some credit with a backhand slap. He he gave him some credit, but he backhand slapped him right here. Like, oh well, it's a miracle. Again, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, man. Like, it truly, truly helps out the channel. Never again, like when you look at all the videos, if it doesn't crack 20 likes, it's not gonna get a lot of views. Like, that's just common sense. So either you like it or dislike it. Either way, it works out, man. So anytime you watch it, first thing you should do is slap that like button. Really helps out the channel. We got TD2. Wow, definitely prefer Lyles and DiVincenzo to Bagley. Well, yeah, that's a clear upgrade there. uh, you know where I stand with Marvin Bagley. Let's not go there. But national media will just say Fox is a bad contract that is regressing. Yeah, the national media says a lot of dumb things, right? The national media is full of narratives that is really barbershop talk, and the recreational fan loves it, right? They don't really understand analytics. They don't understand how to break down film and what to watch for. They give you the generic barbershop talk, which is okay. Like, people, the vast majority of people like that. That's what they get. Like, it's supply and demand. They give you that. The smart basketball creator on YouTube will lean in a different way and won't get the same recognition, but the best recognition is the one that real basketball people recognize you for. So I think that's the most important thing, in my opinion. Addis Prime says, I can't wait for TD in this lineup. Dante and Lyles needs to start the next game. It's time to show who the starters. The system has been implemented. Even on defense, they're now switching, which I haven't seen until now. Like I've been predicting, Fox would be a 28 player next Sabonis. Both you and I, brother. We've been saying that, man. It's crazy, but it's not. It's not crazy to say he's going to be 28 points a night. Like, he's a walking 28-point bucket. He's a walking 30-piece on most nights, but he's probably going to average about 28 points a game. Like, 27, 28 points, it's extremely realistic to expect that from De'Aaron Fox. Like, he's that good. Getting White Dante for Bags is a good deal. White Dante's an actual pro-level player, without question. I mean, he's starter-level type player if his jump shot's falling in, which tonight it did. But can he be consistent? That's always been his thing. Can he be consistent? I just want to see more chemistry because it's not easy to get 6 new players and expect them to win against teams that have been together for a whole season, 100%. And that's one of the things where I tell people, yes, the results have been the same in terms of losing games. Like, they're still losing, but the process just feels different. And that's just a fact. Like, that's not something that we can debate. This team is better. This team is more fun to watch. This team is in better spirits. They're more engaged. Whether it's leading to more wins or better defense, those are two separate conversations. This team is not complete yet. They still got some work to do, but the team is better. And they're playing better. And they should have beaten the Nuggets. And the energy would be a lot different. The Kings are going to get 3 wins at least on the road trip, in my opinion. They need to, for the betterment of trying to save or trying to make it to a 10 seed, at least. Gym time. We'll be there soon, brother. We'll be there soon. Give me about 10 more minutes. We'll be there soon, for sure. I watch you because you got smart and not dumbed down analysis. Appreciate you, Derek. Always got love for you, brother. Kings could be in Denver. Nuggets, light with Sabonis, like Jokic and Fox, like Jamal. They need lights out shooters. Thoughts, 100%. That's what you need. Now you got your foundational pieces, which you haven't had in 15 years. You got 2 legit, young, hungry stars to build around. The work starts this summer. Hard part was to get Sabonis. You got that done. Can you go out and get a 3rd star? Still up for debate. Is there a team out there willing to give up that 3rd star? Like a player at their level, at their age. maybe not even their age, maybe a little bit older. Say a Bradley Beal would be a phenomenal fit right next to Fox and Sabonis. That would be fun to watch. Just a name out there, a risky one, right? Because I think he has 1 year left on his deal. Are they willing to give up draft capital plus some players? We'll see. We'll see. Just an idea, though. Agree. They look like the Nuggets. Kings were a Mitchell away from winning against the Bulls. And if made shots on Saturday, we would be 5-2 since the trade. It's a good way of looking at it. But the Tyrese Halliburton lovers, which only like to show up when he has a good game and when they win, which hasn't been often either, they'll say that, well, Tyrese is balling, blah, 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 and they're better. I'm like, bro, they lost with Tyrese by 53 points. Like, he was definitely not part of the solution. Like, they were losing a lot with him. So, again, let's try to stay away from that, because then you're gonna get me into a little nutshell of a deep vortex that I don't want to go into, because the realists, right, real basketball fans understand that this is a great move for the Sacramento Kings. Period. Once Fox improves his defense and Kings start winning games, then the recognition is going to start to pile in. That's true. His defense is getting better, though. An aspect of his defense is getting better, right? Again, just to reiterate for some of you guys, I think he's very good on ball in that first action. It's the second, third action where teams understand that if you do put him in those type of actions, down screens, back picks, he will lose focus and he'll get lost, right? It's on the scouting report. This summer, he needs to work on a lot of defensive drills where you're very physical with him. You got the big sticks and with the pads, like kind of like football pads, and you got to be hitting him, and he has to be rolling off a screen. Learn from someone like Justin Holiday, who same type of frame. He does a lot better when maneuvering themselves through these screens. So it's definitely possible. Having a guy like Davion Mitchell now and Dante, who's very good as well. Justin Holiday, Davion, and Justin Holiday, they're all good on-ball defenders. You need that, right? Especially Dante and Davion. But those are guys that you can look at and improve. And the biggest variable is the head coaching job, right? That was the first thing I said with Javi when we talked about the trade. Do you think they'll get, I think it was 34 wins or over, whatever. Will they make, I was like, well, the biggest thing that concerns me is the coach. And that's exactly it. I pointed this out on the watch party last game, which was, hey, you cannot take out Sabonis in this type of a game. They're up by 5. They gave up 5 points in like a minute, right? They went into the fourth tied. That's unacceptable. You got to play him. I understand that he may be tired. It doesn't matter. Just look at a team like the Raptors. No depth all year long. The only team that literally plays their guys 40 minutes plus, and it works. They've been rolling, right? Maybe as of recent, they've been losing, but they were on the roll at one point. Like they were like on a 6, 7, 8 game winning streak. And Coach Nurse had no problem playing his guys heavy minutes. Sometimes when you have when people say depth, that doesn't necessarily mean talent. Like I want people to understand that. Like when I say depth, like now the Kings have depth, that doesn't mean that they're not missing a fifth starter. Like they're still missing a fifth, and really, I would prefer Justin to be coming off your bench, but out of necessity, he has to start on this team. So really, they have 3 really good starters, right? And Fox, Sabonis, and HB. They're still missing those 2 other guys. Can White Dante be that guy? Absolutely. But there's a big if with his jump shot, right? Like I'm saying, a starter on a very good team. He's proven it on the championship team. But that's not the White Dante that the Kings have right now. And that's just a reality. Can he become that? Absolutely. But today, on February 28th, a day before March 1st, he's not there yet. Can tonight be the catapulting moment for him to regain that level of play? Absolutely. And if we get another performance like this, the next game, he needs to be your starting two. That's without question. I've been saying that for since he got here. Like my starters is Fox, Dante, right? Justin Holiday, Harrison Barnes, and the Ox. Like those are my starting five. But he needs to put 2, 3, 4 games in a row where he shoots 4 of 6, right? 5 of 7, 3 of 5. That's what they need. Thoughts on the 2-minute drill? Oh, bro, I was so pissed. And honestly, like, that wasn't even a play that I was mad about. Like, that's a 50-50 play, and that's me being objective. Like, Fox, I I don't think he flopped, but I think he was that. I think he understood that he wasn't going to get back into play. But when you're that big, I mean, he did throw his hip a little bit, right? And he kind of discombobulated him. Again, that's a 50-50. I'm more angry about the moments where he initiates contact and it's an offensive foul and there's no call. Then he bumps into him again and he gets that second call, right? Or when he gets that first bump and it's a foul, yet Sabonis does the exact same thing and he gets no call. Either you call it one way or you don't. Either you allow physicality and flopping or you don't. I don't care if you're the MVP. Like, you got to call it objectively. And the refs are so bad at that. And again, refs are bad every night. But there are some particular nights where they are really, really bad and they have no business being a ref. Saturday night was that night where they had no business being refs because they really influenced the result of that game. That's how I feel about it. And it's not so much that exact play that led to a 3 from Monty Morris. It's the other things that Joker gets away with, right? And it really, really rubbed me off the wrong way. What do you think should be the coach next season? I've been impressed by Fox's playmaking these last few games. There you go. You're back on board, El Lobo. You're the biggest hater early on, but I'm glad you're back on board, brother. Shea is better than Fox. Davion had to come in and shut Shea out for a bit. Fox's defense is the worst. Well, I've been talking about it. I don't know if you heard me, but I've addressed it on different occasions already. Looks back-to-back 30-plus games with Hallie. The defense tonight in the second half is the best defense its team played all year. You can see the switches, the rotations, and the recovery. What game are you watching? Shea is a great scorer. You can only slow him down and make everyone else play bad just because player makes the shots. Doesn't mean Fox played bad D. Agreed. Shea's just great, bro. Gentry's probably top 2 W worst Kings coach ever. Horrible coach. Shaking my head. He's not a great head coach. He's a great assistant coach. He's not a great head coach. If you guys been following me for a while, you know how I feel about Alvin. Great human being, love him to death. But there's just times where I've been saying this for a long time. There's a reason why he's been fired multiple times. And it's not because he's a great head coach. If he was a great head coach, well, he'd be different right now. Sam Cassell would be a good coach for Fox and the guards. That's a real good name. I mean, he's been an assistant for a long time. He's paid his dues. Yeah, no rest for Sabonis. He's got to play 40 minutes. No, but he can play 42 minutes though. And I'm being honest, like that's doable. Just look at the Raptors play. They literally play their guys 40-plus minutes. Literally. Like, their starting five, at least 4 of the starting 5 play 40 minutes a game, bro. Like, I've seen it way too many times. If the draft is top-heavy, 1 through 5, what do you think to get a high draft pick? No, I'm not trying to tank. If it's up to me, I'm trying to build winning habits now going into next season. Depth means you can reset your core, you can rest your core and not worry about the lead or if Fox is having an off night. that we won't get killed. Depth is something. We'll pick it up when your star is off. We need one more player. Fox is still can't sit Fox Sabonis at the same time, and that's one of the things. And the telecast kept talking about, oh, they're trying to play Fox. When he's on the blah blah blah. I'm like, we get it, bro. We've been telling you this forever. You're not telling us anything new. Like they kept trying to reiterate it. Bless Mark Jones, but like Kings fans understand that this team's not good enough to have either of those two guys out at the same time. Point blank period. You cannot have a single second of this game without one of those two guys out. You just can't. You can't. Long time to no see what y'all going on. Nice W tonight. What's up, Richard? What's up, brother? It was fun, man, my man. Leo, why do you believe that this team lacked a sense of urgency towards the beginning of and middle of the game? I still believe we need a guy who heavily vocalizes, which could be a coach or a player. I don't think they were I don't think it was a lack of effort. Honestly, I don't. I just think Shea was just cooking, and Shea was doing what he wanted to do, and it wasn't because they weren't playing bad defense on Shea. It was just Shea is just great, and I keep telling you guys, great offensive players will always beat great defensive players, no matter how great your defense is, and a great offensive player will always score. He leads the league in getting to the paint. There's a reason for that. A guy is just exceptionally great, and I got nothing but respect for him. Great kid, great defender. He's definitely the full package. He is legit. I just don't see this team learning more about each other. I just see this team, getting better chemistry. I agree. Man. So again, for the people that are watching this, it truly helps out a lot when you guys hit the like or dislike, man. The reason why we don't get more views is because you guys don't slap it and you don't tell YouTube that you guys are enjoying this content. But we'll do a video breakdown probably tomorrow. So have your notifications turned on. We're watching it tomorrow. Probably what I want to watch, honestly, is that fourth quarter of the Nuggets game. I think we can get a lot out of it. That way we can visually see what they can do better when the game is closer. Tonight was a blowout, so you really can't look into those type of moments. But that fourth quarter to me is critical of this team moving forward. So definitely check that out. If we don't do a Kings one, we definitely gonna do like an NBA one to start off the month on a good note. But final thoughts, man. It was fun, right? It's just anytime you win is fun. The Kings are, I don't know, 3.5, 4 still from the 10th spot. It's gonna be a close race. The Kings will make it interesting for sure. It's not about this season, definitely about next. It's about this summer, really, and getting the brand new coach that is Monty's guy. It's the one thing that he hasn't addressed, that he hasn't really done, right? So hopefully, even though Juwan Howard is out here smacking people left and right with backslapping fools, and I like Howard a lot. I think Howard's a good coach. He's gonna be a good NBA coach. I think he got caught in the moment. He was heated. I don't excuse him. I don't. Kenny Atkinson is another name, right, where he's been around. He's still young enough to really rebound and learn from his previous mistakes. So that's another name, right? Sam Cassell is another name. But Juwan Howard, man, Michigan. If he was ever accessible, it's now. Kind of like Sabonis. Buy low, right? Buy the dip. Right now, Howard's on the dip, and you buy the dip because you believe in Juwan Howard, who's been the assistant coach for a long time, part of that Miami Heat tree with Eric Spoelstra. Great player, great college player. I'm just saying, man, you need some fresh blood. You need a guy that these guys are going to respect. That's a guy these guys will respect. So that's going to do it with you guys. Thank you guys so much. And on behalf of the entire CK family, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.